Today we're taking on sheffeymario9000, and he is also known as Sand, a debuting content creator. And in fact, I have to give him credit where credit is due, because this man was brave enough to step up to challenge me, and none of the other content creators have done that yet. So he was the first man. He just went out there. This man is a brave man, and you can see he's brought a very unique setup here. He's got the Rabombi, probably a Groudon set. He's got a Groudon. He's got Sableye. Could be Mega, could be not. I don't know. He's got Fortress, Sylveon, and Rattata. And most people who run Rattata normally run I forgot what the name is, but Endeavor and Sucker Punch are the main moves they use, and they have Hyper Fang, all of that. But all those Pokemon overall made me decide that Chandelure would be a great lead, because it has a pretty good matchup against almost all the Pokemon on his team, including even the Groudon, because the Groudon sets Sun. So even though I might not be able to one-shot it, I'll probably still be able to do massive damage to it nonetheless. And luckily he goes into Rabombi as his starter, and Rabombi has an absolutely terrible matchup against Chandelure, so switching out was probably his best bet, although he went into Sylveon. And he said he did have some trouble getting the moves, or the correct movesets on his Pokemon. So most times you would run Shadow Ball, or not most times, but sometimes you would on Sylveon. A lot of people like running the Hidden Ability, which is Pixelate, and that gives you a boost on your normal type attacks. It's like Aerialate for Mega Salamence, but instead for Fairy types. And you can get really high powered attacks with that type of setup, although it looks like he does not have that available, and he was going for a Moonblast instead, which did absolutely nothing to Chandelure. And really, this is just not how you want to, respond to Chandelure. I think his best bet here probably would have been to go into Groudon, maybe even Rattata, because Rattata, you can run Focus Sash and you can afford to attack, but really it's just, even with Rattata, it's still very bad against Chandelure. But really his team just can't really do much against it, honestly. Chandelure, it's just, it's just like that, so what I'm saying? So you gotta be really careful when you have Pokemon like this running around. So anyways, I got the opportunity to just go for Calm Minds after Calm Minds, and after 3 Calm Minds, it really is over for the opponent, because Nutting is gonna really want to take a 145 special attack stat that's boosted 3 times. And he goes into Sableye, which actually had me scared, because most people who run Sableye will run Prankster, so you get priority on status attacks or status moves in general. So I went for Substitute anyways, and he goes for Foul Play instead of a priority move. So I decided, well, at this point I may as well attack, because Foul Play is going to destroy the Substitute. There is no reason to keep going for it. So he goes for Taunt, and I guess he was expecting me to go for Substitute again, and that gives me a free Flamethrower, which is enough to take out the Sableye. Now if you had something like Toxic or even T-Wave, or just something else, maybe he could have been able to stop the Chandelure, but fortunately for him, he did not have that available. Really, T-Wave and Focus Sash would be a great setup for Sableye, but unfortunately for him, he didn't have that. So now he sent out Groudon, and this will boost my Fire type moves, because he brings out the Sun with his I believe it's Drought. Yeah, his Drought ability. So that's gonna actually make it even worse for his team, because now I'm getting boosted Fire type attacks, and this Chandelure is already boosted enough. Really doesn't even need the Sun. It could probably still sweep without it, but still great to have it. And I was surprised. I kind of got lucky here that I was able to outspeed the Groudon, because Groudon has 90 base speed, Chandelure has 80, so maybe he wasn't running a speed nature or speed EVs on that, because it did get outsped at the end of the day and KO'd, which completely neutralized it. And even with Uber is you gotta be careful around Pokemon like Chandelure. Once again, that 145 special attack stat is not something you want to play around with. So he goes into Rabombi. Really can't do much here. Does the best move he probably could have done, which is Quiver Dance. Maybe if he had a sleep move. I don't really see Rabombi that much, so I really don't know what they run, but I just know that it gets Quiver Dance, and that's normally what most people will try and use. But of the Quiver Dance Pokemon, it's not really the best. I mean, it does have that part fairy typing, but In my opinion, if you're running Quiver Dance, Volcarona is your best bet. If not, you can also use Willian, which is really not as good at all compared to Volcarona. It's just a verse version, honestly. Maybe if you want that flying type, fighting type resistance, fog resistance, but like even then, like, you know, it's still not much better. And you get Sleep Powder, that is a benefit, to be fair, and Compound Eyes to boost that. But I mean, honestly, in the great scheme of things, it's not really that great, especially with Sleep Claws. So, you know, that's that. So he goes into Sylveon, and you know, I could have honestly flamethrowered here, but I wanted to see if Shadow Ball would do enough damage to one-shot it with the +3 special attack. And you guys have to consider that Sylveon has incredibly high special bulk with it. So, you know, I wanted to see that, and in fact, it does one-shot the Sylveon. And Chandelure, once again, is just built like that. Complete beast. One of my favorite Pokemon to use now. Like, I didn't even know I'd love it this much. Like, I've always loved Chandelure, but, you know, never knew I'd love it this much. Goes into Fortress, which will have Sturdy in most cases. So, that prompted me to want to go for the Substitute in case he had any status attacks that he was going to use. And that was actually a great move because he went for Zap Cannon, which landed. And I don't know if it always does or just in most cases, but I'm pretty sure it has a high paralyzation rate. I think it might always paralyze or something like that. I don't remember. So that's great because that way our Chandelure was still in prime condition. And of course his Sturdy kicked in and he went for the Heavy Slam, which also just did nothing to Chandelure. And you know, that just gave me the opportunity to finish it off. And once again, if the battler Sand, if you are watching, I would highly recommend you know, something that's good against Chandelure, even just like a water type. Even then, I don't think, you know, once you get the +3, you'd be able to stop it. But, you know, really, if you had I know he was mentioning Feraligatr before our battle, and he said that he really enjoyed using Feraligatr in PvP. And Sheer Force Feraligatr wouldn't be a top tier answer because it's not taking a Shadow Ball quite well, but you know, it's better than nothing. And if you ran Liquidation, Aqua Jet, and even then, like, okay, you probably have to run Focus Sash just to be most effective. Really, yeah, Chandelure is kind of a beast. Like, no one uses it too, so not many people know how to really counter it. So, you know, that's that. And also, I was expecting him to go for, you know, the Sucker Punch Endeavor set, but surprisingly, he's going for Pursuit instead. Maybe he knows that I was going to expect that. But unfortunately for him, though, he did miss 2 Pursuits in a row. I kind of feel bad, but, you know, that's that, and that was GG.